Welcome back. Today I have a quick Palantir stock update to share. Starting off with the stock, you'll see another very strong performance, 2.24% on top of the gains we've already had in the past month. There's the month chart right there. 3 months, it's starting to look a little ridiculous, bouncing off of those lows that we've talked about and making a comeback on the 6-month chart. I'll be looking for it to near $30 if this strength continues. But really, we've already had this breakout right here, which is where I was expecting the stock to see a little bit of resistance coming off of this rally. But I'm not making any predictions here. I'm just saying that the stock could test a little higher before settling down a bit. Anyways, this comes on the back of Palantir getting inducted to the Russell 3000, 2000, 1000. So that might be a reason for some more volume in the morning here, leading up to a rally. And I will say the stock did show some serious resilience today. There were a few points where it could have slid and reversed the gains, but it held strong and closed fairly high towards the end of the day. Now on to the news proper. We have 2 tweets from Palantir, the first of which, researchers from the CDC collected millions of de-identified records to better understand COVID-19. Learn how Palantir Foundry was one of the tools to help ensure data protection and patient privacy. So we click into that, and I did already kind of digest this a little bit. It's a research paper, and there's a lot going on here. But if we slide over to a part that I want to point out under materials and methods, this is where Palantir gets brought up. They say for analyzing the data sets, they use Palantir Contour. So at first I was like, what is this? Is this a new unreleased platform? But no, it turns out it is actually part of Foundry. So they call it a contour analysis as part of a data set in Foundry. So a little tidbit there for you if you are not aware like I was. But anyway, here is a little bit of a chain that they were going through in the specific analysis during the pandemic using Foundry, classifying variables, feeding that into reviewing information, setting privacy labels, which is what Palantir is very well known for, and recoding those variables, reviewing anonymity, diversity, and then research links. So it's a little hard. This is a very overbearing research paper we have put together right here, but nevertheless good to see Palantir in conjunction with the CDC putting something like this out. And the other thing they tweeted out this morning actually was that IBM and Palantir are having an event tomorrow, June 29th, to discuss how AI is transforming business. They're going to talk about supply chains and discuss how to operationalize AI across industries. So you can register using the link that I will give you in the description. However, when I went to register this morning, it was actually already booked, even though I have notifications turned on for Palantir Twitter. Anyways, that'll be happening from 11 a.m. to 12. I do expect there to be a recording. So if you were unsure, they're going to be talking about IBM Cloud Pak for Data, which is in partnership with Palantir. They're going to provide an exclusive look at how it works through a supply chain demo, discuss industry use cases, and give the opportunity for a two-way conversation and Q&A with Palantir and IBM. So in my opinion, this is actually a very big deal. It's like its own little demo day for IBM Cloud Pak for Data, in partnership with Palantir, of course. For Palantir, we've had demo days for Foundry, mostly, the double-click series, but we also had a demo day that encompassed Apollo and Gotham as well. So now we'll finally get to see what this whole thing with IBM is all about and some use cases for it, which is only a good thing for us investors. And moving on over on Palantir Reddit here, PLTR, we have someone posting about a reminder that the FDIC FinTech conference is tomorrow. So there's a possible connection with Palantir here. So zooming in, the FDIC is hosting a technology conference at almost exactly the 1-year anniversary of the start of the rapid phased prototyping contest. Considering that we are overdue for an announcement, this would be a great time to announce the award of contract and how it will affect tech in the future. And here's an excerpt from the website. They say the FDIC's Chief Innovation Officer Sultan will also share his vision on how technology can drive economic inclusion and the role of the FDIC's Tech Lab. The event will also feature panel discussions that will explore the following: enhancing inclusive consumer banking through fintech, deploying technology to improve credit access to small businesses, and exploring future opportunities for technology to drive inclusion. So while it is interesting to see that this is getting brought up in the Palantir subreddit here, I actually am not expecting an announcement since, as I just said, Palantir actually has an event in conjunction with IBM, and I don't think they would do that on the same same day if they knew an announcement was coming for a contract. But here's the actual event page. Again, link in the description, and you can go ahead and register. This is taking place 1 to 4:30 p.m., whereas the IBM event is taking place 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. But just know that you do have to register for this FDIC event if you so wish by June 28th at 11 p.m. tonight. Again, they say who should attend: bankers, fintechs, community-based organizations, policymakers, and regulators. I am not looking for an announcement with Palantir here, but it would be exciting to see if they did have one, a contract announcement or such. And just to wrap up this video, I did want to kind of take a look at Kathy's ARK here and check in on Palantir when it comes to ARK Invest. And as you may have expected, ARK Invest has not added ever since they bought back on, let's take a look here, May 19th. They've just been sitting and riding the wave higher, which makes me wonder if they do have a plan to continue to buy Palantir in the future, or if they're waiting for a significant drawdown before they increase their position. I know they did get kind of overweight by the time the stock was bottoming out, but I am just wondering if they do have a plan to continue to add to Palantir in the future, because that always gets me and many others fired up. They do very good research and have some really smart people working on their teams, so it's always good to see when they are buying actively Palantir. Also check on the institutional ownership as a whole. So here we are on NASDAQ.com, and if we take a look at the institutional holdings, I looked at this earlier, and actually it has fallen from when I last checked, which was a couple months ago. But anyways, this is down. This is one of the lower figures I've actually seen. On November 25th, institutional ownership was at 12%. On February 26th, institutional ownership was at 22%. And on April 4th, institutional ownership was at 18.5%. On April 28th, institutional ownership is at a similar 18.9%. That means institutions have not piled back in yet at all. And this is a very bullish sign, I'd say. Again, going back to my theory that PLTR will benefit very well from a growth market recovery. I think as the broader market recovers, institutions will buy back in heavily to Palantir. Under 18%, which is interesting considering we've seen the stock start to rise gradually, especially over the past month and a half or so. So just know that is not necessarily driven by institutional buying, which is perhaps a bullish sign if the reversion to technology and growth stocks starts to happen. That could mean there is more of a runway for Palantir. Anyway, I wouldn't read into that too much. I just wanted to point that out. So that'll do it for this video. I do have some more longer form content coming, which I'm really excited about, so stay tuned for that. We also have the AWS event honoring Palantir on Wednesday, so I'll be sure to check back in then. I hope everyone is enjoying their Palantir gains. Don't take them for granted. Until next time.